Tonight on Ramblers Unleashed. How glorious was tonight's NXT? Why is the Baron killing the buzz of a fellow partaker of green? Did we finally convince Dizzy to go off the top rope? Shh, Max is sleepy. Don't wake him up. All of this and more next on Ramblers Unleashed.
The following program may contain language. Viewer discretion is advised.
The wrestling podcast that sets all other podcasts apart. Covering news from the world of WWE, AEW, TNA, and more. Your favorite weekly episodic podcast, Ramblers Unleashed, starts now.
Well, hey there, hi there, ho there. Welcome back to another Tuesday Night Delight. It is Ramblers Unleashed. Max. Say his name, and he is muted.
Not this time. This time, I was doing the glorious pose.
Oh, the glorious. Oh, yeah.
But
Glorious.
I'm not going to lie, it was great to see them both in the same segment.
Yes, it was. Very much so. Welcome back to another edition of Ramblers Unleashed. We got a lot to dive into tonight. We're going to go we're going to give you our predictions for Wrestlepalooza. And we got so much to talk about tonight. First, let's introduce everybody. We'll start with my best friend, the person who would always show up on time. My buddy. He is the guy who pops bigger for Joel Gertner than any of us. You can address him as Mr. Magius, but we can call him, let me get my golfer's clap ready, the mighty Maximus Magius. Golfer's clap.
Boo! Boo!
How you doing, Max?
I think it's a little unfair that only one person actually calls me the GOAT. So I'm going to shout out our boy Sean for always calling me the GOAT. Thank you, Sean. And secondly, I am not proceeding any further on this show or participating until you play the audio file.
The audio file.
You know what I'm talking about.
I don't have it, man. I don't have it. It's not loaded up. I'm sorry. It's not loaded up. I will get it.
Straight weeks you were supposed to play it.
What a real best friend he is.
Hold on. Why do we have to have your voice on the intro and then on the intro?
I explained this last week. You made me record the PSA. All I'm asking is for us to play it one time. That's it. I know I do the actual intro. I only want to hear my PSA once. We haven't played it at all.
Oh, for the love of God.
All right.
I will work on it.
Another week.
I will work
my
on
best
it.
friend.
I will work on it. I promise. Okay. Does that give you some comfort?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Max, we got your from the desk of Max Magius coming up. It's a good one too. And finally, the person who is whose catchphrase is and will always be Baron, please. I fucked it up.
420.
There you go. The man who gets higher than planes, hates AEW more than anyone that I know, and doggone it, he's just an all-around good guy. You can address him as the Baron. How you doing? Golfer's clap. How's it going, buddy?
Dude, it's great. Sean, it's off the rails. You're not here to guide us in the correct.
Yeah, I know.
We're off the rails no matter fucking what. We're the Ramblers. This is what we do on a weekly occurrence. We fucking just ramble about whatever. And we go off the rails. That's what we do. And let me stop fucking going because I'm sounding like a maniac. I would like to, say I apologize for booing to Max. He is the GOAT. We all know he's the GOAT.
He is.
It's unfortunate we didn't get to hear his voice twice in the intro, but as a true best friend, I'm sure Dizzy will take care of that sooner.
I will work on it. Okay, I will do my very, very best.
And Baron, the thing is, I'm not asking him to put me into the rotation on that PSA. I just want to hear it once. I took the time to record it. I just want to hear it one time. You know what I mean?
I do.
Okay.
Hopefully you get it played, next week live on air, Max, and make you feel a little bit better. And
Max, did you record one?
I did, remember?
I
said those bitches got to learn it sometimes, so get their asses up to the computer.
I don't see it, man. I'm looking through my file.
I'm almost positive that has been played.
And I don't see it. I see one for Baron and I see myself. I don't see one for Max. We gotta recreate it then. We will recreate it. At the end of the show tonight, we will recreate it, okay?
I'm just going to scroll back up. I will find it eventually.
And then next week, did you record it on your own?
I record. Oh, you know what? I wonder if I recorded it in the Max and then forwarded it over to you like I normally do.
Possibly, and I just didn't save it. So
I know I sent it, but
find it. We will get it going. But Max, do your intro, sir, please.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I gotta introduce the other member of the Ramblers crew, the one without whom we'd just be a couple of guys sitting here staring at each other, and we don't want that. Trust me.
Cup of haters.
I mean, look at me. You don't want to be staring at me all night. You know, you want to hear what I have to say, sure, but without you guys, we'd just be staring at each other. So, I'd like to give it up for the people that make this show possible, and truly, we mean that from the bottom of our hearts. Without you guys, we wouldn't have a show. So give it up for yourselves, the Ramblers Unleashed chat crew. Thank you for what you do.
Thank you for being here. We appreciate you.
And yes, Amanda, that is a little weird, isn't it? I mean, it's not like he's watching ECW and reviewing it, so
it's the only way he can get through the ECW shows and review.
It's the only way I can get through Max's sadness from these intros every week. I have to get super high.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, despite the fact that he has disappointed me, he is still my best friend. This is the man that puts the stories together. This is the man who gives us our identity. Without him, we wouldn't be the Ramblers. I'm not going to talk about what we might be because that's in a different life. That's not happening anymore, I don't think. So, ladies and gentlemen, the man with the golden voice, my best friend. Give it up for Dizzy.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Max, as always, great intro, as you do every week. We have a whole mess of shit to talk about tonight, from Andrade to Jake Hager, and we're going to give you our Wrestlepalooza predictions. Eric Bischoff is even part of our topics tonight. So let's just get into it. Andrade, he is gone from the WWE. After joining the company in 2015 and leaving in 2021, he made his way back to the Stanford-based promotion in January of 2024 from AEW, but wasn't booked consistently. The company has moved him to the alumni section of the website. So here's what's being reported. He's officially gone. And now the full picture is coming into focus. His exit wasn't due to a contract expiring or part of a larger round of roster cuts. It's the result of ongoing creative issues and a growing disconnect behind the scenes. So according to PW Insider, the WWE made the decision to release Andrade after weeks of internal discussions. He had been frustrated with creative direction ever since coming back to the 2024 Royal Rumble, and those frustrations gradually escalated into something the company could no longer manage. In the weeks leading up to his release, Andrade was reportedly unreachable, and that added even more uncertainty around his role and contributed to WWE's decision to cut ties. Now, despite still having more than 18 months left on his contract, company opted to move forward without him. The decision also forced immediate changes to creative plans. Andrade had been scheduled to team up with Phoenix in a tag match with the Wyatt Six at Clash in Paris, but that match was quietly scrapped once his departure was finalized. Now, there's even more news on Andrade, and it just wasn't about a disciplinary firing. There's also an issue of him being left out of the growing partnership with AAA. So Uncle Dave spoke about the situation on Wrestling Observer Radio, pointed out the WWE had wanted Andrade to be a part of the AAA project, but he didn't take part. While breaking down the details of Andrade being told to go home, Meltzer brought up the fact that he missed an opportunity and how it stood out during the discussions around his release. Now, Dave didn't say whether outright that the AAA situation was the reason that Andrade was disciplined, but the timing's kind of striking. The company had been working close with AAA on crossover events like Worlds Collide, and Andrade's background made him the perfect choice for the project with his lucha libre roots, his Mexican heritage, his proven star power. He really did fit the role more than anyone else on the roster, yet he wasn't involved. And his absence was noticed. And combined with the disciplinary issues that eventually had him sent home, Andrade missed the AAA project that fueled speculation about what really pushed the WWE to let him go. But Andrade was even escorted out of a WWE taping before his exit. So my question, the question of the day is, where do you think Andrade is headed next? Baron, do you think he's going back to AEW? Do you think he's going to go back to CMLL? There's a whole mess of places that he could wind up.
I don't even know if is it really about like where he's going next? Is that like what we're worried about? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm more worried about him in general, right? Like, he's been all over the place for the last few years. Mm-hmm. And you know, like, clearly this is a wellness policy issue, right? I said in the chat, I thought this had something to do with the Queen, Charlotte Flair.
I don't think it's a wellness policy issue. I think it's more of I think it is a creative issue. I think because we didn't.
No, they've announced it was a wellness policy.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was. I'm pretty positive that was announced. Yeah, Max looked that up, but I'm positive I seen that announced somewhere that it got pulled for wellness policy.
I didn't think it was. I thought it was all surrounding the fact that he just went MIA. And he didn't want to be a part of AAA, Worlds Collide, because he was frustrated with the way
he should be.
Yeah.
How on earth are you that talented and have never made it at any promotion you've been to?
Mm-hmm.
How are you not one of the top 10 guys on the roster anywhere you go? Like, mm-hmm. That man is fucking talented to all hell. And then the work he was doing with Penta, now that goes on the back burner, right? Like, both great tag teams, they should have been the fucking tag team champions when they were in that ladder match or TLC match, right? I don't know, man. I hope he finds somewhere good for him. I just haven't seen anything work out, and with someone as talented as him, that's a little scary. I'm not sure what he's missing the mark on, because the dude is extremely talented, right, in the ring. Mm-hmm. Where he lands, I don't know, especially if this was a wellness policy. From what I read, and I'm pretty sure I read that from like Dave Meltzer, and a couple other reliable sources. But this was probably scrolling through the Twitter. But yeah, I really hope he lands at the right spot. TNA, that's always a great option, but how does that work out with the WWE and TNA alliance, right? Yeah, I really hope he lands somewhere, but it's more concerning that nothing has fucking worked for him.
I kind of hope so. Max, what did you find?
WWE released Andrade during his second run with the company. Reports revealed this past weekend that Andrade had left WWE despite having about 18 months left on his contract.
Yep.
WWE also moved him to the alumni section of its website shortly after his release. Uncle Dave's not here, man, reported on Wrestling Observer Radio that WWE fired Andrade over a disciplinary issue. He explained that Andrade was sent home from a TV taping a few weeks ago and hadn't been used since, with Fightful's Sean Ross Sapp confirmed hearing the same. Now, John Alba of Sports Illustrated reported that Andrade's release was not mutual. According to Alba, Andrade had at least one wellness policy violation during his most recent run. It's unclear how he violated the policy or if he tested positive for a banned substance, but sources said the company suspended him without pay as a result. It was noted that Andrade had not been backstage at WWE SmackDown recently and was removed from internal rosters. He was told to leave a taping last month and was escorted out of the building. A top source said this incident was connected to his suspension and disrupted major creative plans for his tag team with Rey Fenix. Corey Hayes of Body Slam also shared that WWE had tried to reach him for weeks without success, with the SmackDown incident said to have taken place in mid-August.
Yeah. So it was a wellness policy. I did not know that. Thank you for pointing that out. Yeah, MJF Sean did call Andrade out to CMLL and said he'd meet him there. So
I'm not so sure about that. And it's not that I don't think that he violated the wellness policy. I believe that he probably did. What I'm not sure about is they let him go for one wellness policy violation. Listen, this guy is very talented, but I can tell you that some other superstars back in the early days of their time with the WWE violated that wellness policy multiple times, and all they got was suspended or a slap on the wrist. There has to be more to this story. And I'm not talking about the part where he was unreachable. Yeah, that probably played a part too, but it just feels like something's not sitting well in this with me, is all I'm saying. It cannot be one wellness policy violation and you're gone, or Orton would not still be here. You know,
I mean, half of these wrestlers wouldn't be here, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I said this in the chat, like, Charlotte Flair came back, and Andrade, like, he was like kind of up and coming when right before she returned,
right,
and that kind of changed. You know what I'm saying? I feel like she has some type of involvement in this, or something, some backstage shit that's happening with the two of them, because they both got were they married or just engaged? I don't.
Oh, they were married.
Were they married? So yeah, so like the divorce is going on. So I can only imagine the backstage politics that are happening there. Yeah, it's an interesting story. I agree. Like, one wellness policy thing really shouldn't warrant him being released. So I feel like there's some more shenanigans happen.
I call shenanigans. Baron, let's get to your buzzkill. Thanks to ringsidenews.com, which, by the way, sound off in the chat where you think Andrade will wind up. This is kind of a buzzkill, man. Triple H's surprise that he teased us with over the past week was finally revealed. Wrestlemania 43 will be taking place in Riyadh. Yet again, they're going to Riyadh in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And there are plenty of people who are really unhappy with this move. However, it appears that Rob Van Dam has actually defended WrestleMania 43 taking place in Saudi Arabia. While speaking on the One of a Kind podcast, RVD revealed his thoughts on WrestleMania 43 being held in Saudi and said he mainly sees it as a business decision. From what he has read online, there's a lot of money involved, both for WWE and for many of the wrestlers who he doesn't see a problem with the move. RVD wondered whether international fans will travel to Saudi Arabia to attend a show, and pointed out that this is a key reason why cities want WrestleMania to bring in tourism. And he also believes that fans who already travel long distances from Japan or England or the United States might also be willing to travel to Saudi Arabia instead, as it is simply a different direction on the map. RVD compared WWE schedule to giving fans birthday cake all year long. But in his view, Baron, taking just one big show to a new location like Saudi still leaves fans with plenty of events to enjoy. So he feels that they're spoiled. Here's the thing, and this is what I found on the internet. WWE was paid $250,000 by Saudi Arabia to hold WrestleMania 43 there in 2027. So it's clearly $250,000 is what I found.
That doesn't even. That's not even. That couldn't even be remotely close to being the right number.
That is what I found.
No, I'm saying, like, that is such a small number that doesn't even make sense.
I know, but yeah. I know. And why would the WWE even worry about that price if it's true? I don't like the fact that yet again we have to wait to see the company go to Saudi Arabia.
How much did you say?
$250,000.
No. The report I just pulled up says $250 million.
Okay.
Yeah.
And even that seems low.
Yeah, but now where does that come into consideration with their contract with Saudi Arabia already? Like they signed $1 billion thing for so many years, right? So I don't know. But keep continuing and all jump into me because I have a long fucking laundry list of hatred
Go
going
right
on here.
ahead.
I think this is fucking stupid. I think this is the dumbest fucking. This is why I hate corporations. You. Okay, so let me regain my stuff here. I don't want to get too crazy here, but like we have our opinion on Vince McMahon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck the guy, did horrible shit. Fuck him, right?
Mm-hmm.
However, when it comes to a wrestling standpoint, he always catered to the fans. Okay? When it came to ticket prices, they were always family-oriented ticket pricing.
Yeah.
The moment they sold out to TKO, what did it become? A corporation, TKO ticket pricing to where you and I and Max could never afford. Okay? So when a corporation becomes this sellout, that I really have a distaste with that. And RBD, you're a fucking idiot. You actually are dumb as hell. You don't even probably smoke cannabis anymore. Like I don't like his opinions anymore. Like they're getting out off the rail. But like it's terrible because this WrestleMania, okay. WrestleMania was a time for the United States to generate money for states. For the states in the United States. Any state that they went to in the United States generated millions upon millions of dollars, right? And it helped the revenue and helped the state do many things for taxes, right? So like this right here is a smack in the face for the United States when it comes to wrestling because it was a big ordeal for us. And then them going to Saudi Arabia is just baffling to me because they're not going to have the American fan base or the European fan base or anything along those lines at this location because like nobody's traveling to that, right? There's no possible way.
No, I wouldn't.
I mean,
I'm not going to go to, even if I had the money, I'm not going to go to Saudi Arabia.
Well, you're not going to be able to. There's like literally no flying through this area unless you get the pass, right? Like it's you can, and I imagine by 2027 it's going to be far worse. So like to me, it's dangerous. To me, it's a sellout move to a point where I feel like WWE has really kind of stirred me the wrong direction with some things here as a recent. We're not just talking backstage shit that's happening. We're talking about in-ring stuff that's happening. They're really changing their creative on how they do things, and I don't like it. They're here for the cheap pop and not for the long-term longevity of things. Them going to Saudi Arabia is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard. They could have went to Europe, where the fan base we've seen just in the past month, them go absolutely insane. So yeah, I am 100% against this, and at this point in juncture, I could care less because I'm not waking up at fucking 10 a.m. to watch WrestleMania. Not happening.
And from what I Googled just now, you can fly to Saudi Arabia, but it says travel is not recommended for many countries due to ongoing regional tensions and the threat of terrorism. And I'm sorry, if you think an American is going to get on a fucking plane to go to Saudi Arabia to go watch a wrestling show, you're out of your fucking mind.
It's not happening.
And it's not for us. That's the thing. It's not for us anymore. It's for Saudi Arabia. It's for them. I just don't like the fact, I'm with you, man. I don't like the fact that we're going to Saudi Arabia. I don't even like us going overseas, honestly.
Well, I mean, like the European states and Australia and things along those lines make sense because they're relatively pretty safe.
They are.
And compared to what's happening over there, which is terrible, right? But it's not just about that. It's just because, like, that is not a wrestling. This is when you talk about Tony Khan playing with figures because he has a shit ton of money. So take whatever you think the Khans have money wise and quadruple that and that's just Saudi Arabia in general.
Mhm.
So they're doing the same exact thing with wrestling. Like it's sickening to kind of see.
Well,
really.
and
And none of the wrestlers looked happy. We seen them on the press conference. Like,
yeah, that's
Liv
what
Morgan was like.
just pointed out.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's a disgusting thing, and it was nothing for the long-term effect of wrestling. This is all money related,
But
and that makes me sick.
it's sad to think that. I mean, okay, I understand you have a business to run. Do you think, Max? I'm gonna point it to you. Do you think that Vince McMahon would have taken WrestleMania to Saudi Arabia?
Yeah, I actually do.
Do you really?
Yeah. There was a consideration on the table when he was working on selling WWE. He was thinking about selling it to the Saudis.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully, somebody talked him out of that, or maybe he talked himself out of that. It doesn't matter which. He changed his mind. But yeah, I think that if he was offered enough money, I think he would have said, yes, we'll do a WrestleMania in Saudi. I know it sounds crazy because WrestleMania is his baby and he wants to have the control over it, but Vince will do just about anything for the money. That's a fact.
I mean,
I agree. I totally agree in that sentiment. But like, here's the thing: for how many years of wrestling, like, had the tickets prices like remained similarly like the same? And the moment he left, they no longer cater to the family group of individuals that went to wrestling. It now caters to the, people with a good amount of money, people that are paying the same prices for UFCs and boxing and shit along those lines, because they're not a wrestling-based group of individuals.
Yeah.
Vince McMahon was, whether we like him or not, he was wrestling. He is the greatest mind of wrestling. There's no way anybody can ever dispute that. Look what he did. He made that $1 billion industry. So I agree. I don't think he would take him to he was the one that got Saudi Arabia. Anyways, like that's
right.
The person that started it.
Right.
I don't think he would take a WrestleMania to it. That's like the biggest show. This was a networking event for all wrestling fans and even for promotions in the area, right? Like independent wrestling. Like I'm sure there's going to be plenty of events happening in, the United States, but it takes away from the whole weekend. And it's to a point where I don't even care to watch it.
It's not for us anymore. It's for them, And let's keep going because we're talking about a generational fan base, and we're going to turn to the desk of Max Magius thanks to ringsidenews.com. And Eric Bischoff isn't holding back, Max, when it comes to WWE's latest direction under TKO. And this time, it's not just about Saudi Arabia. During the September 13th episode of 83 Weeks, Bischoff and Raj Giri took aim at WWE's recent shift in ticket pricing following comments made by TKO President Mark Shapiro at the Goldman Sachs Communicopia conference. Shapiro's comments that WWE had room to grow ticket yield because Vince McMahon previously kept prices affordable for families did not sit well with Bischoff. While he acknowledged the logic behind raising prices from a business standpoint, he warned that it would eventually backfire in a massive way. But Bischoff didn't stop there. He shifted the conversation to what truly built wrestling's empire in the United States and its accessibilities to families and kids. So according to him, prices out families isn't just risky, but it's potentially fatal to the long-term future of the WWE. Max, here's what he said, and I quote, "One of the reasons that professional wrestling as we know it in the United States has been so successful as it has been in the beginnings of television time is because it's family entertainment. It's generational experience," end quote. He made it clear that families are the lifeblood of wrestling's future, and when you price them out, you're burning the bridge for the next generation. He said, and I quote, "Parents could take their kids and their kids as friends, and you could go to an event like WWE or AEW or TNA and afford to bring them. Those kids grow up and they'll bring their kids one day. You break this generational cycle, you break the foundation of your audience," end quote. He also said, short term, you'll make more money. Long term, you lose risking the next generation of fans. So, Max, I really think what Eric brings up is a great point here. We grew up with the WWE. That's why you, myself, and the Baron are on this podcast, because we made it a part of our lives when we were younger, and we talked about these price hikes. It's way too much to even go to a house show to see WWE wrestling. It's becoming stupid.
Listen, there are certain people that I hate it when you make me agree with them. Bischoff's one of them. Corny's one of them. Russo's one of them. Ryback is on that list. How many times have we done something where I've agreed with one or more of those people for what they said? And I don't like that. You got to stop doing that to me. But, on the subject of ticket prices, I agree. We're pricing people out. And at first, I was kind of meh about it. I didn't care because, I couldn't afford the ticket prices before they jacked them way up. Why do I care about them jacking it up? I'm out. Then I got to thinking about it, and somebody made a really good point. WWE doesn't control the ticket prices. I know that everything is, WWE ticket price this, WWE ticket price that.
Right.
But it's not WWE that's controlling those ticket prices. It's TKO. And why do I bring that up? Well, TKO spent a lot of money acquiring the UFC, and they spent a lot of money acquiring the WWE. So they really want a return on their investment. They want to make the money that they expected to make. And they spent a hell of a lot of money on these two companies. I'm going to look it up for you because I want to know. Let's start with the WWE. That's the first thing that popped up. TKO didn't buy WWE in the traditional sense. Instead, TKO was formed by the merger of WWE and UFC in April 2023, a deal that valued WWE at $9.3 billion and created the newly public traded company TKO Group Holdings. Endeavor, the parent company of the UFC, took a majority stake in TKO. So these were the total. Here we go. The total deal valued TKO at approximately $21.4 billion. I know it says that it didn't buy in the traditional sense, but these guys spent money to pull this off. So we're talking the WWE itself valued at $9.3 billion. TKO overall 21.4. They spent a lot of money to make this happen, and they want that money back. So they're going to jack up the prices so that they make their money and then some.
I understand, but I understand the return of investment, and I understand all that. But where does the line draw where you're cutting people off that actually want to go watch a WWE show, but they may not be the richest people in town?
That's the whole point Eric Bischoff was trying to make. So wrestling, if we go back to the 90s, right? Or let's just early 90s, before Attitude ever happened. Attitude really shifted everything. What is the average person that watches wrestling? Okay. It is a middle to lower class income household base. And
Vince knew that.
He catered to that, and it worked. And I got to get off the Vince train here, but he knew what he was doing with his company. He's the reason why it's $1 billion company, right? And a few other wrestlers that he marketed very well. But like, that is the fan base of wrestling. Okay. And Bischoff is correct. You're going to come to a point in time. People have less money now in life than we did 20 years ago. Yes. I don't give a fuck what anybody ever says. Okay. Everything's more expensive now than it ever has been, ever.
Yep.
And there's nobody that's going to ever persuade me differently. And that includes, so when it comes to leisure activities, whether it's a concert or whether it's a wrestling event or buying weed, even like in the industry I'm in, like you're seeing a decline because people cannot afford that. So you have to cater to those individuals and lower your costs so you gain more revenue. I mean, it doesn't make sense. So over time, they're going to hurt. There's no way around it.
I mean, you're going to shun that fan base that genuinely has been following faithfully with the WWE for years, and you're going to turn them out and bring in new people. I understand about, it's all about bringing in new people. I get that, making new wrestling fans, and that's fantastic. That's a great thing. That's what we want as wrestling fans. We want more fans to become fans, but where does the line draw between I used to charge this much for a ticket at a promotion, and we're going to jack up the price because we got new people who own this place? It's like if an indie promotion went from a high school gym to, I don't know, a family arena, and they jumped the ticket prices up because they got to pay for the rent at the family arena, they got to pay for this and the overhead and all this shit. People aren't going to fucking go. And if people are going to go, it's not going to fill up the whole stadium because people can't afford the shit. So when you're talking $600, $700 for a fucking nosebleed seat at WWE, and I want to hear it because I can't afford $600, $700 just to see a nosebleed, a John Cena that's going to look like a fucking ant. I'm not going to pay that money. And I've never been to I've never been to a WWE show. Never in my life have I ever been to a WWE show. Baron, you were at, what was it, Backlash, and you paid $900, right?
Per ticket.
Per fucking ticket. And
so
those were good seats, though. I mean,
they were great seats, and it was relatively probably cheap because we got it at literally we got those tickets the day of, right?
Yeah.
If I bought that in advance, it would have been a little bit more expensive because day of, you're able to get a little bit cheaper prices because people are really trying to get rid of those tickets that they bought, right?
Yeah, right.
But yeah, man, it's a fucking absurd.
Still, you're alienating the people that have been
fan base. Your literal fucking fan base. You're alienating.
Yes, you are. You're alienating the people that have followed you for years because you're worried about your overhead. You're worried about sales and ticket and revenue and your ROI. I understand. Look, I get the ROI. I understand, but dude, you're TKO. If you ever see this video, take it from a fucking 3 fans here on this show of the WWE. Your ticket prices are out fucking rages. Lower them please, for the love of everything, lower your ticket prices so that I can go. I've never been ever, and I want to go.
And there was another point I wanted to make on this, and similar to what you just said, I want to direct it towards TKO. TKO, listen, you guys went in the right direction, putting Triple H in charge of creation. He has made some missteps, but overall, he has elevated the quality of the product. Now, all you had to do was let him run with it. You didn't have to play with ticket prices. Because here's the thing. You were selling out with the product elevated. But now you've made it so that the people that made your business what it is, the business that you decided you wanted to be in, you made it so that we can't go, and only people like Green Shirt Guy and rich people are going to be at the shows, where people are going to put themselves into debt. So here's my request. Trust Triple H, let him do his thing, and make it so that we can go back to live shows again.
And here's another point that you brought, that I'm glad you brought it up. What would you rather do? Would you rather spend the $3,000 and go on a trip to Florida to Disneyland and Disney World with your family for 7 days and make those magical moments? Or do you want to go to a WWE show for 5 hours, 6 hours, or whatever the case, pay $3,000, get up close, touch a wrestler, and then turn around and go home? Which one is more beneficial to that family? Honestly, it's going to be Disney, because you're not giving the fans what we want. You're giving the fans you're giving the fans a wrestling show, but you're not giving them a good experience because of the fact that these families are going to go into fucking debt because they're taking their kids to a wrestling show. And if you are one of those families that want to go to a wrestling show, take your kids to a TNA show. Take your kids to an indie show. If you can't afford WWE, and I would even dare to say, and I'm going to smack myself for this, Take them to a fucking AEW show.
Oh, they're just as much. They're just expensive though. As a
Well,
WWE
not
show.
as
Much,
and
right?
I know, Max. I know. I know. I get it. But when you're comparing apples to fucking oranges, come on, dude. Something's got to give. Something's got to give.
Listen, I'm just gonna say this. Take it for what it's worth. AEW ticket prices are overpriced as long as the following conditions exist. Some bitch still holds 9 titles. You're holding back people like Britt Baker and Anthony Bowens and other people while you're putting people like Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland at risk with injuries that could be career-ending if you don't give them the time off that they need. So until they correct these issues and start actually putting out a quality product, no, sparklers on the corner posts, AEW ticket prices are overpriced and not worth the money.
But it's cheaper than going to a WWE show. That's
not by much though. Like it's not. And then TNA fans, you got to be prepared. Them being affiliated with NXT/WWE, you start bringing in bigger names into your TNA shows. What does that do? That increases your ticket pricing, right? You have to pay those people somehow. And how do you do that? By gate. And so it's not just wrestling though, guys. Like this is the current state of leisure activities and things that we enjoy to do to make ourselves happy, whether it's a concert, whether it's wrestling. It's all way too expensive. Just life in general is. And that sucks because we can't enjoy those type of things anymore. It's just like wrestling fans. We got to buy 15 different fucking apps in order to watch what promotion we want.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just insane.
Let's not even talk about how much they made off the gate last year. WWE's consumer products revenue, which includes merchandise, was $111 million last year alone, which is a significant increase from $27.6 million the previous year. Then you add in everything else that they make, and I don't think they need to raise ticket prices to make a profit. I'm sorry, I don't.
No, they don't.
And I would rather, and I'm going to be honest with you right now, Mir, you're not going to like this, but I would sooner sell Mir's kidney to be able to buy a WWE ticket than go to an AEW show and pay any money into what they're putting out right now.
So that man's fucking liver alone.
We were talking about NXT and ticket prices. I couldn't find ticket prices for Homecoming, but for No Mercy coming up, which is the 27th, ticket prices start at $136. Some range between $200 to $320, with additional prices to be released soon. And the most expensive ticket that I found on this graph here is $172, and that's not even a fair. I mean, that's an okay seat, but it's not by the ring. I don't even want to know what the ring is, but if you're sitting in the nosebleeds, you're paying $136. So, and this card is still building. So as soon as the card gets built even more, these ticket prices are going to go fucking sky high. Guarantee it. And it's all about who you got on the card. And now I want to go look up Wrestlepalooza tickets.
Well, I think this is where this all stemmed from. I think these tickets were absurd from what I read. I would love the numbers.
Prices for Wrestlepalooza started around $205 for upper level seats, higher price VIP options, and secondary market prices for floor and ringside seats, potentially reaching hundreds or even thousands of dollars.
Well, let's just make it simple. Where's Wrestlepalooza at? I'm done forgetting.
It's in
Indianapolis.
Yeah. At the Gamebridge Fieldhouse.
So, folks, for anybody that needs insight, Indianapolis, that's a relatively lower income state, so So when you look at these prices, let's see here. Wrestlepalooza.
Lower end, upper levels. I got it right here. 30 between low as $35 to $205 for less than desirable seats. The average to mid levels between $200 and $500. The average ticket price is around $525. And for the high end VIP and the ringside seats, which gets you closer, can cost you upwards of $945 to $6,000 or more for very premium spots.
Well, yeah, if we're looking just a ringside alone here, from what I'm seeing, the lowest ticket, one ticket ringside, this could be 15 rows back, would be $708 per ticket. So, you know, and that's probably, we're probably talking like row 15 or something crazy like that, right? You know, front row, it doesn't really give me front row because they're sold out, but like row 4, F5, which is ringside, that is $1,700. Row 2, section 5, $3,104 per ticket.
And I'm gonna pull up.
And this is not Ticketmaster. This is StubHub, which is resale, right?
Yeah. See, and I have SeatGeek pulled up. So let me pull up my screen here. Boom. We're gonna go share. So for section 136, and I don't even know where 136.
Well, just scroll somewhere at the very top, right?
130, 137, 136, 137. That's $217 each, right? Still, that's a lot of money.
You would need your fucking dude. That's insane. No, yeah. I would never set up that far.
If these right here, $911, $1,129. Like, what the fuck? Why? Over here, $1,129, $911. What the fuck? Nobody can afford this shit. And then they want people to buy merchandise and food and drinks. Come on now. This is ridiculous. And that was a 2-day package. That was for Wrestlemania, or I'm sorry, that was for SmackDown and Saturday night's main event. Ridiculous. Guys, we gotta bring the ticket prices down, man. I mean, over $2,000 for row 2 on Ticketmaster for Wrestlepalooza is fucking dumb.
Here's some tips on how to not lose your wife.
Yeah, what the fuck?
It was a video that popped up my face. Fucking being stupid.
Here's a tip on how to not lose your wife. Don't pay over $2,000 for a Wrestlepalooza. She'll kill you.
I was watching a video of a person ranting about that because I looked up ticket prices and it popped up on Instagram. But like, yeah, I totally agree. But this is the current state of wrestling.
It's so stupid.
Yeah, and Courtney, I make more money than I ever have in my entire life, right? And I'm also to the point where like I could care less to go. It's not even about the ticket prices anymore. It's more about my fucking morale or morals of this, because I just feel like it's just goofy at this point. And I wish other people would understand that too, because I know parents are going in debt trying to pay for their children to go to these because the kids love wrestling. And that sucks, man. I really hate that.
It does.
But
suck.
If you wanted to throw me some free tickets, I'll go.
Yeah, right. I mean, I'm not going to sneeze at free tickets. I mean,
right.
I have a green shirt.
Does it have a piece on it?
I would have a little bit more emotion and excitement while sitting front row, other than green shirt, man.
No shit. That dude doesn't give a fuck. He's like, it's like he's at the DMV, man. Like, what the fuck?
Zero emotion.
No. He does. Dude, that's the thing, though. He goes to all these fucking events and he sits front row. At some point or another, it's just gonna get dumb. It's gonna get dull. It's gonna get boring. It's like, well, fuck, I saw this the last time I was there.
I have to say, and I blame you, Dizzy. DMV scheduled to debut Monday, October 13th at 8:30 p.m. Mountain Time on CBS. Now back to Dizzy.
Well, my apologies.
That is a legitimate new show, by the way.
What is it? DMV?
DMV.
I'll watch it. Who wouldn't love a show about DMV? The most chaotic fucking place on earth.
I don't know.
Yes, give
I
it to
said
me.
the same thing about who would watch a show about an office, and look how that turned out.
Well, if you haven't watched The Office, do me a favor and watch The Office, because it's a great comedy.
It is a good comedy. We're going to come back, talk some AEW, and we still have Wrestlepalooza. Our predictions on the way. So
damn, we already talked AEW though.
Yeah, I think we hit
not yet.
AEW. I think we hit all the topics we needed for AEW this week.
We'll be back and we'll talk some AEW. Hang on. Hey, what's up? It's Dizzy from Ramblers Unleashed. And do you find yourself missing the Ramblers between episodes?
I wouldn't call it missing us.
Oh, come on, Max. Our listeners might say otherwise.
Oh, sure. Let's trust their opinions.
I mean, they are the ones who tune in every week. We should consider their opinions.
All right. I guess you have a point. Speaking of, did you have a point at the start of this?
Oh, yeah. Thanks for reminding me.
Don't blame me for this.
Look, if you miss us between episodes, you can always listen back to past episodes and check out our reels on youtube.com/Ramblers Unleashed.
They can? I suppose next year you're going to tell us they can chat with us on Discord as well.
Hey, funny you should mention that. Find the Discord link in the description of our videos.
Hey, nice shameless plug.
Oh, thank you. And welcome back. It's time to get into some AEW news, and it could become one of the most aggressive media power plays in recent years, and that is Paramount Global reportedly purchasing a majority cash offer to buy out Warner Brothers Discovery, an ambitious move backed by the billionaire Ellison family. So according to the Wall Street Journal, sources close to the situation say Paramount's bid would be for the entire company. That means Warner's vast empire, including the movie studios, TBS, TNT, the entire legacy cable portfolio, would all be part of the deal. The acquisition would be completely reshaped with the streaming and television landscape and send shockwaves through the entertainment industry. This news arrives just months after Warner Brothers Discovery revealed plans to restructure into two core operating divisions, one to oversee traditional cable TV and another to focus on its studios and streaming business. The shift now seems to be the prelude to a much larger transition, potentially under new ownership. So the Ellison family, whose Skydance Media is already deeply entrenched in Hollywood, is expected to provide the financial firepower behind the offer. Paramount has already been on the move, and in a separate major media deal, the company recently inked an agreement to bring UFC content to the Paramount umbrella, including replacement on Paramount Plus and broadcast exposure through CBS. With TKO's group's MMA giant on board with the potential Warner takeover looming, Paramount is poised to reshape its entertainment portfolio in a massive way. But the big question is now, what happens to AEW? Warner Brothers Discovery is the home of all elite wrestling through both TBS and TNT and HBO Max. And any shakeup at the ownership level could have serious consequences for the company's future on cable. So with WWE's UFC content coming in through Paramount side and AEW tied to Warner's networks, the deal could spark one of the most competitive wrestling content battles in recent history. Also to mention, HBO Max is going to see another price hike soon. So this isn't good news. This is not good news for AEW, and this could hurt them, Max, in a very, very big way.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't know how Skydance is going to react to having AEW, but with a WWE adjacent product coming to Paramount Plus, I'm just not sure that Skydance and Paramount
are going to have any interest in bringing another wrestling fed under their umbrella, especially a so-called competing one. I think we all know that there's no real competition coming out of that camp right now. This could be the death nail for AEW unless they can figure something out. Don't get me wrong. I'm pretty sure there's a contract involved.
There's a contract, but
with Warner Brothers Discovery and AEW, but I'm not sure how long that contract remains the under the terms if Paramount buys out Warner Brothers Discovery. The thing that excites me the most, though, is, hey, I might finally get my Ghost Hunters back if Paramount and Skydance control Warner Brothers and Discovery.
The AEW and Warner Brothers Discovery contract announced in October 24, multi-year deal beginning in 2025, but it includes a streaming component on Max, but the specific end date, it's not available to us. So we don't know when that contract will expire. But you have to think, though. I mean, you have to think, how well are they really doing ratings wise?
And that's the other thing. We also don't know what the streaming numbers are because somebody is too much of a coward to release them.
I don't know if it's as much him or if it's just I don't know if it's HBO Max saying, you know what, we're not getting really good numbers here, so we're just not going to release them.
I mean, look, when you sign a contract, you at least need to know yourself what your streaming numbers are. And if you allowed yourself to get into a contract that blocks you from getting those numbers, then you're the dumbass that doesn't know how to do a contract.
Well, yeah, that's true. I just am very, very worried. I'm very curious as to what's going to happen with this company if this merger buyout goes through. I wonder what's going to happen to AEW, because they've been lacking on a lot of storylines, as we've talked about in the past. And one of the storylines that they really need to pick up on is Anthony Bowens. Just shortly after a potential reunion with Max Caster that played out on AEW Collision, Anthony Bowens fired off a pretty blunt message on social media, and it got people wondering if he's speaking from the heart or staying in character. So he responded to a fan who called him underrated and urged AEW to, quote, let him run with it. But Bowens didn't hold back. He said he gets overlooked because he's never been given the opportunity to go 20 to 30 minutes with anyone in AEW. That kind of match, he says, that really allows a wrestler to prove their worth. Anthony said, and I quote, I get overlooked because I never had a 20 to 30 minute match with someone in AEW. This really is when you start to earn your stripes. You can't make a determination without giving people the chance to prove you wrong. He ended the post by declaring the elite and pride of pro wrestling, making it clear that he knows his value, even if he feels it's not fully being recognized by the company. And here's why I think it's going to be a possible storyline. And if it's not, Tony Khan is fucking dumb, because Anthony Bowens isn't letting fan question his credibility without speaking up. And now he's made it clear that his recent online comments weren't directed at AEW, but rather at critics who doubt what he can do in the ring. After initially responding to a fan on social media who called him underrated, Bowens pointed out that he's never been given the chance to go 20 to 30 minutes in a single match in AEW. And that kind of high-pressure environment, he believes, proves a wrestler's worth. But he sparked the debate about whether Bowens was voicing real frustration with his role in the company or simply staying in character. But on September 14th, Bowens clarified his position with a follow-up post on X, and he said, quote, no, I'm calling out certain fans who think they know everything, who say certain performers aren't capable of something before seeing them in those do or die scenarios. And at AEW, that scenario is usually a high-profile singles match or on a pay-per-view. The message is clear. Bowens isn't coming at AEW, but fans who write off wrestlers without giving them a shot in the spotlight. His original post echoed the same energy where he noted he's been overlooked because he hasn't had the chance to show what he can do in long-form singles match. The timing of all of this is really interesting because just one night earlier, Bowens had what looked like a reunion tease with Max Caster on AEW Collision. But after a backstage fight, the two worked together to fend off Blake Christian and Lee Johnson. But Jerry Lynn stepped in, told him to get back on the same page. They stood together in the ring, walked off separately. So tension is still lingering. But haven't we seen this in the past before on WWE programming? I mean, if this isn't a possible storyline soon, AEW will have dropped the ball on yet another great talent because Anthony Bowens is a good talent. Next to MJF, the Acclaim was probably the best thing that they had in AEW. So if Tony ignores this as a possible storyline to bring back, no, they were fucking over, Max. They were so over. But if Tony ignores this as a possible storyline, then he's dumber and blinder than I originally thought. Because this could be this could be something good. This could build up to something really, really great. And if you bring not even talking about the Acclaimed, if they reunite or if they don't, or if they do and then they don't bring their name back, whatever the fuck. Either way, putting Anthony Bowens and Max Caster back together, it's good as long as Max Caster can just shut the fuck up and not say anything stupid on the microphone, man. But that's the whole point of this, is don't stop dropping the ball on really talented people like Britt Baker. Stop dropping the ball on her, man.
Stop dropping the LSD on the 9-time blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, right. Well, Jake Hager, we talked about him not too long on the show. He really went after Tony Khan, man, and he did it yet again. Jake Hager didn't hold anything back when he was asked what really happened in the end of his AEW run, and the former WWE World Heavyweight Champion dropped a grenade on Tony Khan's creative leadership. Speaking on Unscripted, Hager described a company in chaos run by a boss who wouldn't listen even to his top stars. When asked point blank about walking away from AEW, Hager aimed straight at the top. He said, quote, "To get to the end of the career and to have someone like Tony Khan, who's been in the business a cup of coffee and doesn't really know, he can't make himself a sandwich, let alone write a storyline that will last," end quote. So according to Hager, the problem, it wasn't just with Khan's lack of experience. It was his refusal to let anyone challenge him. Hager said, and I quote, "He's got contributors, yes men, that will help him write storylines, but there's no one there that could tell him no." Jake also said everything changed after Cody left. We could feel it. We're not even behind the scenes, but we could feel it after Cody left. Things changed, it shifted. And Tony leaves talent out of the loop completely. He compared it to a free-for-all. And he said, I've seen companies, I've even seen companies ran the right way. And I've heard of companies being ran the wrong way. And this is the absolute wrong way to run a company. And that's already struggling, Baron. It's already fucking limping along. And yet we still continue to have Tony Khan do whatever the fuck he wants. And it's not about the long term of the company, you know? Tony has no clue. He has.
I want to correlate some words here, but like we go through it on a week-to-week basis. Like, yeah, absolutely. He's got a shit ton of talent that can help elevate that show. It's just now to the point. Listen to your talent, right? Like that is what we're missing the gap here on with the show, because they have the talent. I mean, they may have a better roster than WWE.
They
in
have,
this sense, right?
They have a really talented roster. They really do. But they also have a lot of really talented people working backstage with that talent. They really do. Minus the one who shall not be named. She doesn't count. But it goes without saying that if you don't listen to it's like any work situation. If the company is going one way and leadership is taking it one way and your employees are telling you, hey man, you need to take it this way. We need to be going this way. Don't you think that management would want to go that way and go with their employees? Because if they don't, their employees are going to walk out the fucking door. You know?
The problem is that Tony Khan thinks he knows better. And I'm going to tell you what happened. It wasn't when Cody Rhodes left. They had a night where Max Caster went down to the ring, did his little rap thing on the way out, and he crossed the line with said rap entrance, and Tony didn't catch it until it already went out over air. And at that point, he took over all of creative. He told people, in order to make sure this doesn't happen again, I'm taking over all of creative, and we're going to avoid it. That's when everything started going. The sparkler thing happened right around that time. In case you think I'm going back on my story, I'm not. It was because of that he was like, "Oh, I'm taking over," and that's how we got some of the crap that we got booked. I'm not denying that he has a talented roster. I have never once said that. And earlier when I went like this about the Acclaimed, listen, just because they were over with the fans, we're talking AEW fans. You can't trust all of them. But that's beside the point. My point that I was trying to make was those two men are very talented. They are. I will not deny that. But as the Acclaimed, they weren't interesting to me. They really weren't. I repackage them, bring them back out as a tag team, and maybe I'll be interested. Part of your problem is you're having Max Caster do a gimmick that we've seen before. In fact, the GOAT did it. The GOAT wrapped his way to the ring. Mm-hmm. You know, you don't need to try and recreate that magic. And listen, Tony, throwing your wrestlers in the middle of the ring and whoever lands on top, that's who gets the win. That's no way to book a wrestling show. And I want to comment on something Sean said right here. Tony doesn't have a Bowens action figure. You know what he does have? Multiple action figures of She Who Shall Not Be Named. That's why she's got 9 titles right now, because when you throw her into the ring against anybody, 9 of her action figures is going to beat the shit out of whoever else is in that little plastic ring.
I
totally wrapped it one time.
It's like Tony Khan laid his action figure of She Who Shall Not Be Named on the floor, bumped into a shelf, 9 titles came falling down, and he said, "Oh, that looks good. We'll do that."
Well, I'm going to be honest. I'm pretty sure he laid his life-size action figure of She Who Shall Not Be Named somewhere. And that's all the more I'm going to say on that subject, because wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I think y'all know what I mean.
But what Jake is talking about here, we have speculated for years. We have speculated this. We've talked about this. And I'm so happy that Jake Hager is speaking out about this, but he also just isn't speaking about himself. One of the key figures in AEW, one of the reasons that we got who we got when Cody Rhodes was there, is Chris Jericho. And I love Chris Jericho. Love him. But Tony Khan might be singing Chris Jericho's praises on the radio, but according to Jake Hager, Tony wasn't even answering Jericho's texts. So in a recent interview on the Torg and Elliott show, Khan made it crystal clear that he's still holding the door open for Jericho's AEW return. Here's what Tony said, and I quote, "Chris Jericho has been here since the very beginning, and I have so much great respect for Chris Jericho. We absolutely want Chris Jericho back in AEW and hopefully soon," end quote. Now, Khan called Jericho a huge part of the history of AEW, And Dodge directly confirming a return, instead telling fans, stay tuned to the show. That's one of the reasons you watch wrestling show. The wrestling show is to see returns, end quote. But just as Khan painted a warm picture publicly, Jake Hager dropped a brutal backstage reality check alleging that Jericho was ignored for weeks at the same time by the man now publicly begging for his return. Speaking on Unscripted with Sportskeeda, Hager claimed that AEW's inner structure fell apart after Cody Rhodes left, and said even Jericho couldn't get a text back from Khan for up to 2 weeks. Hager said the problem wasn't just ghosting Jericho. It reflected deeper neglect from AEW's top boss. Here's what he stated, and I quote, "It became a point to where either AEW is important or it's not. And it just seemed like it was not to him," end quote. Now, Jake also mentioned that the company stopped holding production meetings and left talent clueless on live taping days. We've covered that on this show before. But this is not how you run a fucking wrestling company, especially if you're wanting to go head-to-head with one of the giants that actually has their shit together, that actually has more money than Shad, more money than his dad. And you really want to go head-to-head with the WWE after this shit? No. You continue to lose. You continue to lose, and you will continue to lose until you get your shit together, and that means Tony Khan just fucking leaving. I said it. And there's also been one person who has not been very happy with AEW. He hasn't been impressed with them, and that's Eric Bischoff. And the numbers, basically the viewership numbers, is what he's talking about. And he said he doesn't see them turning the corner anytime soon. So during the September 13th episode of 83 Weeks, Bischoff laid into AEW's ratings and questioned whether they could maintain long-term relevance in an evolving media landscape. That's what it's all about. The conversation came up while he and Raj Giri discussed reports that Paramount and Skydance might make a move to acquire Warner Brothers Discovery, which we talked about earlier. With TKO already in bed with Paramount, the question was whether AEW could survive a potential shakeup. And Bischoff did not mince words. He said, and I quote, "AEW it's not a big audience. It is what it is. 500,000 viewers in prime time is nothing to brag about. Even if you're Dave Meltzer, you can turn yourself into a fucking pretzel if you choose trying to do it, but you make yourself look like a knucklehead, which is nothing new for Dave," end quote. I love that. He then dropped a real hammer. Not only does he believe that AEW has plateaued, he thinks the decline is far from over. He said, and I quote, "But it's 500,000 consistent viewers. I think they've hit bottom, to be honest, but not quite yet. They'll take a bigger hit this fall. By the time next year, they'll probably be hovering around 425,000 viewers, in my opinion. By the end of the year, they'll probably be dancing around 300 to 350,000. Just based off the current level of, just based off of that." And that said, Bischoff did admit AEW still provides value, even if a new broadcast partner wants steady, cost-effective content. And he said, it delivers a relatively consistent audience and has a big upside. So I didn't think of it as doom and gloom for AEW as it might appear to be on the surface because of the TKO involvement, end quote. But Bischoff's blunt predictions may suggest that TV networks may start soon evaluating the return of investment. More crucially, even with the possibility of corporate reshuffling changing the game, you had to think that when Warner Brothers walked in, that's why they had all of these meetings with Tony Khan before they re-signed a contract for AEW to remain on TBS and TNT. But you had to think that with Warner Brothers, who was fucking pulling the strings of that? It had to have been Tony. Had to have been Tony Khan in that meeting with all those execs, smart executives, from Warner Brothers saying, "Oh yeah, we'll get the ratings, we'll get advertisers, we'll get all this," because that's what it's all about. You're there to put on a show, but you're also there so those people watching your show can see the advertisements that they're fucking playing. You know,
my biggest question in this though is like, what is the threshold? What are we considering good and what are we considering bad? Okay, TNA, there's no way they're reaching anywhere. They might be reaching half of the numbers of AEW, right? They're getting TV deals.
Okay,
we're working that.
So here's the thing. Here's the difference between the TV deal with TNA and AEW. Every household on basic cable, you get TBS, you get TNT. With Access TV, it's different. It's on another package, which costs more money to watch it.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
But it's still on something. Whether it's streaming, whether it's cable, we have to remember at the end of the day, millions of people are on these apps regardless, right? Like, whatever Access TV, what's it on?
Access TV?
Right. But what app can you get Access TV on?
Oh, I mean, you
Like
can get
Fubo, right?
I think you can get maybe Fubo. I know DirecTV you can get it.
Yeah, so I mean, like, millions of people are already on that, right? Like, TNA Plus, that's another edition, right? But like, I guess it's just weird. Where do we consider a wrestling show the threshold? TNA's been around for quite some time now, and they have never reached what AEW's potential is on, and they've been on some solid networks too on cable TV, right? So like, I don't know where companies, where they like, what is their like, where is their place at, right? Because I think TNA or AEW still 500,000 people. You gotta remember, for wrestling, it's pretty solid number still. I mean, I'm not saying like great, obviously, right? Like, we went from 1 million to 500,000. But that's 500,000 people watching wrestling. Like, we have to remember how many people are in the world and how many people are watching WWE. Like, there's only a certain amount of wrestling fans out there, right? So, like, that's where I get confused when we talk about ratings and how many people view the show. Where does networks draw the line? Where do they say, okay, we're no longer getting viewership with you guys, so we need to cut you? And that's what I always like think in my head about AEW is like, where do they draw the line? Because 500,000 is still a good amount of people watching.
It is, but you also have to think about, and I've talked about this, man. You also have to think about cord cutting, right?
Yeah.
Think about cord cutting. Who actually has cable anymore? It's all streaming, man. And here's the thing: where you can watch AEW. Where you can watch, Access TV rather for TNA. You can not only get you can get TNA on TNA Plus, of course. You can pay that and get it specifically. But if you don't want to pay for TNA Plus, you can get it through Philo. They offer it in their live TV package. Sling TV offers it with some channel packages. DirecTV carries it as part of their service, and YouTube TV does not. But you can find content on it on the YouTube channel. So everybody's going to streaming. But I guarantee you, I know for a fact, Philo, Sling, Direct, YouTube TV, they all have TBS. They all have TNT. So they can just as easily watch AEW easier than they could Access TV for TNA. And it's not a knock at TNA. It's not a knock at Access TV. I understand it. But TBS has been part of a basic cable package for years. I had it when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I had 12 channels.
Yeah.
And I had TNT too. That's how I watched Thunder, and that's how I watched Nitro. But I had USA as well. That's how I watched Raw. But you would think that with as easy as it is, how easy it is to watch TBS. You fucking watch Friends on TBS. People aren't watching live TV anymore.
Seinfeld's on TBS, baby. I get that going around. Isn't it on TBS?
I know. Yeah, it's on TBS, TV Land. But anyway.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I totally see what you're saying.
But you have other options too. Fucking football just started. And though there's no football games on Wednesday nights, you have baseball that's still going on. Fuck, we're going to get into the World Series soon. We're going to get into playoffs. And that's on TBS. I'm sure it's going to be on TBS. Has to be. But there are multiple ways for people to watch AEW. But AEW has to be watchable for people to fucking want to watch it.
Well, there you go. You end the conversation with that part right there because, yes, you have to be. As a wrestling fan dude, I don't even know at this point. Literally, let's just say 30 years because it has to be at this point. I've watched wrestling my entire life.
Me
literally.
Too. Yeah.
So, and I have watched every aspect from ECW, CZW, independent shows that's been thrown on TVs, ROH, everything that you can imagine. And this one, I just cannot fucking get. I even watched Max down in, when he was wrestling back in the day. I found that on cable network somehow. It was on channel 69. So I've watched it all, but this one is just hard for me to really get engaged into, and that's unfortunate because I don't like that.
I mean, it's gonna be interesting. This whole buyout thing, it's gonna be interesting to see where AEW is actually going to go. Can they survive this? That's the main question, is minus everything else that's going on backstage and what's going on inside the ring and who has 9 titles. Are they going to survive this merger, this buyout? Are they going to survive?
And I want to say something to the AEW diehards. I know it seems like we come on here week after week and we crap on it.
Okay, well, real quick, before you get too into it, Max, we do come on here week to week and crap it.
And here's the thing: as Baron just pointed out, I was about to say, we do, we kind of do, yeah. But listen, I'm happy that you're enjoying wrestling. I think that's great. That's what I want you to do. But as a wrestling fan, I think you should demand better. Not just, better quality booking, but better safety for your wrestlers, the people that you're rooting for. If somebody is injured, and I know you enjoy watching Ospreay work, but why risk his career ending so that you can get a little more time out of him before he goes on hiatus? As a diehard AEW fan, you should want the best for the people you are watching. This is why it's important that people that are being held back until the right time get brought back sooner rather than later, so you can rotate them in and take out some injury people so they can get better.
And here's
you don't want their career over too fast.
Yeah, and here's something else too, AEW diehards. You don't need blood every single fucking show. You don't need a cage match every single fucking show. You don't need some hardcore stipulation every single freaking show.
You don't need one person holding 9 fucking titles. Sorry.
Exactly. You don't need she who shall not be named, for the love of God, holding 9 fucking titles. That is so fucking dumb. I'm just saying, give other promotions a chance, man. You don't even have to go watch WWE. Go to a fucking indie show. I guarantee you they're going to be a lot better than AEW. They'll be more organized, I'm sure, than AEW ever is now. Because at one point it was a good promotion. It was putting its moves on WWE when Cody was there, but now it's not.
And if you don't want to watch, there's reruns of Friends and there's reruns of Seinfeld. Go watch them. Great fucking shows. So
shit. I mean, fuck. Go watch the night. The fuck, you can go on YouTube and go watch all of the old WCW shows for free. Go watch those.
Yeah.
You know, let's move on to some TNA news. I'm tired of AEW.
There you go.
TNA wrestling got dragged into just a little bit of drama. And this time it's involving claims of behind the scenes tension with AEW and Scott D'Amore's Maple Leaf Wrestling. But a top Anthem executive isn't letting the story go unchecked. So Uncle Dave reported that TNA talent has been banned from working Maple Leaf Wrestling shows due to AEW's involvement. Meltzer claimed the issue stemmed from TNA management viewing AEW as a rival promotion and not wanting their contracted stars working on events with AEW talent, regardless of the history they have with D'Amore. The report quickly made waves online, and especially with the bold claim that WWE now holds power over TNA, suggesting the strategic shift that would directly affect how talent is managed and booked outside the company. But David B. Clevenger, Senior Vice President of Digital at Anthem Sports, which owns TNA, he was quick to fire back, and I love this. He took to Twitter, and Clevenger dismissed Meltzer's claims with one blunt post. He says, and I quote, "None of this is true, by the way," end quote. But just one sentence. Anthem brushed off the entire bullshit report that Meltzer spit out of his stupid mouth. And not for the first time when it comes to Meltzer's claims. At this point, fans are used to separating facts from fiction when it comes to these kind of stories, especially when it comes from Meltzer's mouth. Especially when there's no actual proof to back them up. Meltzer, buddy. Let's talk. Let's talk, man. You have the biggest hard-on for AEW, the biggest erection for AEW, and it's sick. It's really sickening to see this. Can you open your eyes and see that this company it's failing? You don't, and the thing is, like, Max, I'm sure Maple Leaf wants every wrestler that wants to come to Maple Leaf to wrestle to help build up that promotion, man. You know?
I want to know how it feels to be wrong so often.
Yeah.
I listen, and I know that he puts out there everything in my stories is accurate unless something changes after I'm informed of this. Nah, man, you've been caught posting wrong news before. How's it feel, man? Why don't you take a break, take a step back, okay? Listen.
At this point, I would listen to Brian Alvarez more than I would.
Brian Alvarez used to write a column in the Rocky Mountain News, a newspaper from here in Colorado. I actually have respect for Brian Alvarez. I got none for Uncle Dave.
Yeah.
But that's beside the point.
Right.
And as far as Maple Leaf Wrestling goes, they want to work with the best and brightest talent around the world. They are going to bring in anybody that's willing to work for them. And WWE has exclusive contracts, so I wouldn't expect to see any of their people there, but possibly. Whereas TNA, on the other hand, has a slightly laxer setup, so I could see them going there. As far as AEW and their people going there has nothing to do with AEW itself. MLW is a separate wrestling company.
Mm-hmm.
And AEW, as long as they're going to allow their people to go, their affiliation with AEW has nothing to do with what they're going to do for MLW. Now, they may announce them as an AEW superstar, but who gives a shit? Let them get their shine on for where they work. It's like when Joe Hendry came out at WrestleMania with the TNA title, Hey, that's great. To answer your question, Sean, Uncle Dave appointed Uncle Dave as the be-all, end-all.
Yeah. He sure did. I mean, good job, Dave. You have basement booked your entire career, and for what? To be wrong all the time? How does it feel, man? It's got to feel kind of embarrassing to be wrong. This dude still and that's what kills me. The dude still gets behind a computer, writes his fucking articles, gets behind a microphone, talks on his little podcast, and is just completely off base in everything that he fucking says. How can one person be wrong all the damn time? It just baffles me. But
I say the same thing about Max. Like, how is he wrong all the time?
Max, those are fighting words, man.
Love.
Listen, let me tell you. And this is going to be a little bit of a segue because I know what's next after we talk this story.
Yep.
Because I couldn't be here for the Clash in Paris review show, and I'm going to miss the Wrestlepalooza review show.
You're fired.
Anyway, because I couldn't be here for the Clash in Paris review show, I didn't get the opportunity to actually tell us the points. So I don't know if I sent them over and you guys discussed them on the show, but let's talk about this for a second.
I don't think we did we?
Didn't see any.
There were 6 matches at Clash in Paris. And my best friend got 3 out of 6 right. That's not bad. You're batting 500. That's a respectable number.
You're swinging.
I'm happy with that.
You're swinging.
And if I was always wrong,
oh, here we go.
You and I would not be tied at 4 points, Baron. We both had 4 points at Clash in Paris. But now we get to see how we do with Wrestlepalooza because that is the next event.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Let's get to predictions. It is Wrestlepalooza, the first PLE on the new ESPN, the enhanced ESPN streaming app is what they're calling it, from Indianapolis, Indiana, at the Gainbridge Fieldhouse this Saturday. It's gonna be a good show, man. It's of course it's formerly from Extreme Championship Wrestling, but the event will feature John Cena's first and only Wrestlepalooza as an in-ring performer due to his retirement from pro wrestling at the end of this year. He's going to face Brock Lesnar, and that'll feature AJ Lee's first match in over 10 years. And also the Usos are going to be part of this, and Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre too. So
what do you mean by AJ's first match in 10 years? Whoa.
Match in over 10 years.
AJ Lee?
Oh fuck! I'm sorry. Yeah, okay. Sorry. I thought we were talking AJ Styles.
No. That's why I said AJ. I'm like, fuck, Dizzy. There's 2 AJs.
Yeah, it took me a minute, but we do call Styles, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. So let's get into it, and I'm going to start. Oh, who should I start with?
There is a great picture that you should see. And it goes along with everything we were just saying about AJ Lee, AJ Styles, And I think you'd really, really enjoy this picture. I don't think we ended up saving or sending this to the group chat. I saw it on Facebook. I thought it was hilarious.
Go ahead and send it over. We'll pop it
up
on the screen. Okay. Which, by the way, this is a beautiful time now to get your predictions in for Wrestlepalooza to see who you think is going to win.
Drop it in the chat, folks.
Drop it in the chat. Let us know who you think is going to go over. Who are you pulling for? And as we give you our predictions, you can play along with us at home. Now, let's show this picture real quick. Of course, it's AJ, AJ Styles, Dragon Lee, and CM Punk.
You know, Punk knew what he was doing when he posed for that picture.
Hell yes, that's awesome. I dig it. All right, I'm gonna leave it up to you guys because usually I pick who goes.
Bring it over here to Big Daddy.
You want to go first, Baron?
Sure, I guess.
All right, let's go.
Everybody can copycat my fucking answers.
Right.
I already put my
We
answers
can get
down.
4
I
out of
think.
6 right this time too.
All right, man. Let's start it with you. Io Sky versus Stephanie Vaquer, singles match for the vacant Women's World Championship. Who do you got?
Thank God this fucking match is finally happening.
Yeah.
We've been vacant title for how long now?
Hey, don't talk about vacant that way.
Well, he's a piece of shit. I mean, Stephanie Vaquer. If she doesn't win, we riot. Yeah.
Okay. The Usos, Jay and Jimmy versus the Vision.
It's the Bronze.
Oh, the Bronze. I'm sorry. Yes. Okay. So the Usos, Jay and Jimmy versus the Bronze. The Vision.
One of the two Usos are joining the Vision, in my mind.
Uh-huh.
I something's happening along that front, or maybe not joining the Vision. This could be a match where one of the brothers turn on each other.
Mm-hmm.
Something along those lines is fucking happening.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, like Braun's winning. There's no way they're losing.
Okay. CM Punk and AJ Lee versus Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. Mixed tag team match, non-title.
The heel in me wants Seth Rollins to win. I think it would be another beautiful smack in the face to CM Punk. His wife coming back after 10 years in a match with her husband, and Seth Rollins takes advantage of that and wins this match. Could that be amazing? I think it would be absolutely phenomenal for the storytelling that's happening here, but that's not going to happen. AJ Lee's returning after 10 years. AJ and CM Punk's winning.
Okay. Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre for the undisputed WWE Championship.
Poor fucking Drew. This man gets thrown into these random fucking
Here's my question for you.
Yeah.
Have we seen any build-up for this fucking match? I have not.
Yeah,
we have all of the SmackDowns lately. But I think there has been.
I saw a little clip of Drew rolling in by the crowd in his car, trolling Cody Rhodes by playing his music, which is freaking awesome, and said he's going to get his ass. Like, he wants his ass.
Yeah.
I just haven't seen it.
Yeah, no, there's been some good, like, back and forth. It's been short-lived, but I feel like it's also Drew has been kind of knocking on that door of Cody Rhodes for a while now. So it's a good opportunity for this, but let's be honest here.
Okay.
Poor Drew is not winning the title. He gets sadly thrown in these positions of these big marquee matches as small PLEs that he's not winning this title, right? Like Cody Rhodes is the guy. I'm very curious on who the fuck is taking that belt off of Cody Rhodes in the near future. I don't know who it is. It's not going to be Drew, so I'm going with Cody.
Okay. And finally, John Cena versus Brock Lesnar.
Who gives a fuck? No. You guys know my opinion. I've talked about it for the last few weeks on the show with these two. There's no way Brock Lesnar returns and is losing against John Cena. John Cena's putting him over for whatever fucking reason he has to. Yeah, I'm going with Brock here.
Okay. Let's go with you, Max. And we kick it off with Io Sky versus Stephanie Vaquer for the vacant Women's World Championship. Who do you got?
Listen, first off, shout out to Vacant. You've had a wonderful run. Yeah. As you always do, you've done phenomenal. I'm calling Stephanie Vaquer taking the Women's World title here.
All right. The Usos, Jay and Jimmy versus Braun.
We have an unwritten rule in the pro wrestling industry that whoever takes the L on the go home show is getting the win at the PLE. That being said, Jimmy Uso, I believe, was the one who was pinned for the Brawns to win that match.
Mm-hmm.
And therefore, the Usos are going to beat the Brawns at Wrestlepalooza.
Okay. CM Punk and AJ Lee versus Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch in a mixed tag team match. Who do you got?
What are you, new? Everybody know it's Punk and AJ Lee winning this.
Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre for the undisputed WWE Championship.
Before I answer this, I replied to an image that I sent to our group the other day, and I think you should pull it up because Drew actually replied to himself on that tweet that you mentioned.
God, am I going to have to go? Oh, okay, I got it right here. Let's see. This is great. My God, what the hell's going on there?
That was weird.
I know. It's like my screen just stupid. Anyway, here we go. So The Rock wants Cody's soul. I want his ass. And then down here he says, wait. Good.
By the way, Sean, Tony Storm is timeless. Vacant is on a whole other level.
Mm-hmm.
And just for the record, Cody is winning this. He's retaining that belt. That's where we're at.
Finally, John Cena versus Brock Lesnar.
I got a lot of respect for Baron and his pick on this. However, they have made such a big deal out of how this match will be John Cena's 100th PLE victory if he wins, that I don't see them having him lose it. They've made such a big deal out of that particular piece of information. I think they're giving him his 100th win Saturday night. So I've got Cena down.
Okay. As for me, Io Sky versus Stephanie Vaquer for the vacant women's world championship. Again, shout out to Vacant. Very good run. If they do not give that title to Stephanie Vaquer, I think we will riot. I really do. The Usos and Jimmy and Jay versus Division or Braun in a tag team match. It's been interesting to see this. Jay has been on the defensive. I mean, he speared LA Knight, and LA Knight on SmackDown nearly hit him with a chair and gave him a BFT afterwards after shaking his hand. And Jimmy, even the backstage with Jimmy and Jay, like Jay, just how he's talking to his brother. I honestly think something's going to happen here. I think the Vision is going to go over. I don't think it's going to be the Usos because I think Jay is going to turn on Jimmy, maybe not join the Vision, but I think Jay is going to turn on Jimmy because, guys, remember, Jimmy and Naomi are going to have a baby. So Jimmy's got to take some time off.
Well, yeah. Somebody, one of the two are turning, but like,
I think
he's not having the baby.
I think Jay, no, but I think Jay is going to turn on Jimmy. And will he join the Vision? Probably not. I think he's going to be a heel. Just have a heel run. CM Punk and AJ Lee versus Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. This has been a remarkable story. I don't think
the Brawns.
Yeah, I said the Brawns.
Sorry, I was trying to get you a picture.
Okay. This has been a remarkable story between CM Punk, AJ Lee's return, Seth Rollins, and Becky Lynch. And if they don't give this to AJ Lee and CM Punk, then what's the point of AJ Lee coming back? You know, I think they're going to give it to CM Punk and AJ Lee. And if they don't, man, it's going to be some good storytelling. Going to be some really good storytelling. But with the return, they would most certainly have to have AJ Lee and CM Punk win. Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre singles match for the undisputed WWE Championship. I haven't seen anything about this at all on TV, so I have no idea. I had no idea that they were even feuding. I'm going to go with Cody Rhodes because Drew, it just builds him up as a heel who just can't win. And finally, John Cena versus Brock Lesnar. Yeah, Max, if you said it. I mean, this is the 100th match at a PLE. If he doesn't win, right? Is that what you said? Or if he doesn't win?
This will be his 100th PLE win.
Yeah.
If he gets this. And he's in second place behind Undertaker, who has 107.
Well, come on. He's going to win. He has to. He has to break the streak. He has to break the streak of the Undertaker. He broke he's the never seen 17. He's got to break it. He's got to win. I'm going to go.
John Cena winning his 100th match?
Yes.
Well, you got to remember here, folks, he's got a few more matches left in his belt. Okay? They're bringing back Brock Lesnar, the biggest, most destructive human being on earth, the beast incarnate. Like, this man doesn't lose, right?
What other PLE does he have?
Who, Cena?
Yeah.
Oh fuck, I don't know off the top of my head, but he's got. I mean, he's not leaving until February, right?
Well,
Cena's last show is December's Saturday Night Main Event.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's plenty of shows and PLEs to win the 100th match.
Well, how many PLEs are left? Max, can you Google that?
Well, we got 3 months until December.
I know, but
there's a lot. The way we keep coming up with fucking new PLEs like Wrestlepalooza.
Okay, all right, there's
2 weeks before.
All right, Sean, there's Survivor Series. All right.
I don't know all of them off the top of my head, but there's at least 2 more, right? 3, if not.
Well, you have Wrestlepalooza, of course.
Uh-huh.
You have, if he shows up at No Mercy, he can have that.
Mm-hmm.
Crown Jewel in Perth, Australia. If he shows up at Halloween Havoc, that'll put us up to 4.
I can't see him showing up at any NXT. He's too big for NXT.
Oh yeah, I don't see him showing up to NXT too.
Survivor
but you know,
Series.
Okay, so there's Survivor Series. Crown
and then
Jewel.
2 weeks later, he's gone.
Well, do you have Royal Rumble?
He's not going
that's
to be
January.
here for the
Yeah, you're
Royal
right.
Rumble.
So they're not having any PLEs in December?
They have Saturday night's main event in December on December 13th.
That's his final one.
And that's
Right. Yeah, but like there's no fucking way. Like that's the only show in December for WWE. They don't miss out on PLEs. I understand the 13th is his last match, right? I find that hard to believe. I imagine he's gonna end up into the new year. Like that just makes sense contract wise. But for the picks and your count, I find it hard to believe John Cena is beating Brock Lesnar here.
How?
It's just Brock Lesnar, man. Brock Lesnar doesn't lose. He's here to kill everybody's morale in wrestling.
Well,
take it from The Undertaker.
Well, there you go. There you go. He loses to John Cena. Brock gets infuriated, and he goes after someone else. Whoever stands in his fucking way. Let's say it's I don't know, the current United States champion. He goes after Sami Zayn because he got in his way. Because he's pissed off that he lost to John Cena at Wrestlepalooza. He'll have other matches. Give this one to Cena. Cena doesn't have that many matches left. Cena's going to go over. He has to.
I hope you're right, though. I want him to win.
I hope I'm right, too.
I want him to win so bad.
For my predictions, I mean, I do want him to win, but I also want some good predictions. So,
yeah,
there you go. That is the show for today. We are going to be back. We're going to do a review on Wrestlepalooza, what we thought. Baron and I will be here. We'll have a special guest join us, too. And it's going to be a lot of fun. Now, Max, you're going to be in Chi-Town, correct?
I am. I am going to be at the conference for my job. I fly out. Well, I'm not going to be there Saturday night. I leave first thing Sunday morning, but literally as soon as Wrestlepalooza is over, I have to get in bed so I can be up and on my way to the airport by 5:30. I need to be there by 6 o'clock my time. So there's no way I'm going to be up late enough to do a review show that night.
Max, is this your first time flying? You know, when you have an early eye or a late, flight, you stay up.
No.
Do it.
No, because I don't sleep on the plane.
Fair enough.
You're such a bad influence, man.
Well, I don't like to sleep on the plane. Let's put it that way.
I wish I could sleep on a plane. I can't.
I wish I could too.
I
can't.
Too worried about what's going on around me.
I know. I'm like, okay, we're in midair. I cannot sleep in the fucking plane. Because what if happens,
Where did I go? Oh, I went to actually Chicago. Now you mention it, for work, because like our corporate office is in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
So I go there once a month. I wish you would have told me you were coming. I could have coordinated my visit out there, Max, because I go to the West Loop, downtown Chicago. That's where the office is, which I have to give much praise to Chicago City. It's fucking absolutely gorgeous, and it's a great time. Beautiful. Love the atmosphere down there in the West Loop. But on my flight out there the last time, I had a entire row by myself. It was the greatest feeling on earth flying out there. Got to fucking relax my legs and just I fell asleep there. But unfortunately, the flight is literally from St. Louis to Chicago, like 45 fucking minutes, so it didn't matter.
Yeah, I flew to Chicago once. I didn't get to go into Chicago. We landed in O'Hare because we were on our way to Seattle. But I flew to O'Hare, and it was like a 45-minute flight from St. Louis.
Yeah, it's just so short, dude.
Hop, skip, and a jump.
They bring your drink and your nuts, and then 30 seconds later, give me your fucking shit. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Right, exactly. It's like, well, fuck, why'd you give it to me in the first place?
Exactly.
Take it away from me, you fucking bitch. Yeah, so Baron and I will be here with a special guest, and we will review Wrestlepalooza for you since Max is out of town. But Max, we hope you have a safe flight. Have fun in Chicago.
Yeah.
Even though you're working.
I did pull up the schedule of what I'll be doing while I'm there. And I should be done with dinner and entertainment by 7:30 p.m. Central Time, which means that I should be able to be back in my hotel room in time to do Ramblers Unleashed.
Hey, Baron, do you know what that means? He will be in the only time zone that matters.
Matters, yes. The only
Tuesday
time
night
zone
will
that
be
matters.
my time zone, because that's where I'm at. That's why it will matter.
Whatever.
Whatever. You're in the Midwest now, brother.
You know what? Chicago's only
like 4 hours from me, I think.
It's got to be less because it's, I'm further out.
Let's see.
I guess not really. I'm further north than where you're at. Yeah.
So it's about 4 hours and 12 minutes for me.
Is it?
Mhm.
I guess it depends where Chicago you're going, because Chicago's pretty fucking big. To Chicago, I want to say
This is a straight shot too from where I'm at.
4 hours and 38 minutes. It's a straight shot for me
It's
too.
a straight shot down 57, Highway 57.
Highway 57,
Mhm.
55. I could take 57.
Yeah, you'll take to get it. But if you come here and we ride together, you'll take 64.
So what you're saying is we
Our
need
audience
to
has no
idea, but this is great, and I love this for them, so they know. So what we're doing is we're meeting up. We're driving to Chicago. We're doing a live show with Max, and Max is not falling asleep. He's going to do the review show with us.
Ooh.
Is that what you're saying?
Ooh, boy, Max.
And then Max buys us dinner.
Well, in that case, I want a steak.
I know some really good spots down in Chicago.
Heck yeah, let's go. I'm down. I am totally down, Max. But seriously, though, have fun in Chicago, and safe travels back, and safe travels there, and we'll catch up with you.
Hey, just in case you guys want to make good on that threat, I did just send over the hotel I'm staying at.
Oh boy. Oh wow, you're staying at the embassy. Oh shit.
Well, we were supposed to stay.
Unfortunately, however, like not in Chicago.
I mean Schaumburg. Okay, so hold on.
Schaumburg. I mean, like where I'm thinking, like when I say West Loop, I don't think that's close to the West Loop in Chicago.
I have no idea. I've never been. I mean, Schaumburg is a suburb of Chicago, but
to the West Loop, Chicago. Because like if you're going to Chicago, there's no other place. Yeah, 34 minutes. And anybody that's ever been to Chicago, 34 minutes from in Chicago is like an hour and 34 minutes.
And it really is, yeah.
Damn, that's unfortunate because I would take you out to the West Loop, Max, and we would have a fucking fantastic time because it's in my top 5 places in the United States that I've been to. Chicago, beautiful down there.
Yeah, but we will be back here on Saturday evening after Wrestlepalooza is done. We'll be back here to review it, Baron and I, and a special guest. And in the meantime, Max, how can they follow you?
You can find me at Max Magius. It says it right there.
Right there.
If you have any complaints, please, for the love of God, send them to Deactivated Styles. The man's going nuts. He can't play video games right now. He can't do much of anything. Please send him complaints.
Yeah.
You can find my other podcast at Our Shots Podcast. You can listen to it wherever you find your podcasts or go to random-shots.net.
There you go. Baron, how can they follow you?
Let me throw it out here for you guys again, but you're not going to follow me. If you want to, it's Scumbag Jordan with 3 N's. Amanda followed me.
Amanda, you follow. Hold on. Does she follow? I don't know if she followed.
She follows the channel, I think.
Does she?
Mm-hmm.
Does she follow the follow us on X? Amanda.
Yeah.
Does she? All right.
Yeah. So anybody that wants to follow, you find me on Scumbag Jordan with 3 N's.
You can find the show on X at the Ramblers Pod. You can find us on Facebook at Ramblers Unleashed. And if you like what you hear here tonight on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. Hit that the like button on this video. Hit the bell icon too. That tells YouTube that you like what we're doing and suggest our videos to more people. And we invite you to tell your friends. And we will be back here again on Saturday, right after Wrestlepalooza is off the air. Not only on YouTube, but on X and on twitch.tv as well. And until then, enjoy Wrestlepalooza. We'll be back here Saturday night to talk about it and enjoy wrestling as a whole. We got AEW tomorrow night. We've got Friday Night SmackDown coming up. Then we got Wrestlepalooza. So enjoy wrestling no matter who you like, what you want. Oh, and then you have the TNA on Thursday too. So enjoy wrestling for what it is, and we'll be back here to talk about it next week, Saturday night, Wrestlepalooza.
Thanks for tuning in to Ramblers Unleashed. Follow the show on social media, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and click the bell icon for notifications of upcoming episodes.
How dare you go to Chicago on a PLE? I can't believe it, Max.
Bear down.